packaging yourself. It's a Mindset Wednesday, so remember it's mindset, so whichever way of packaging we are talking about is up here. Because you are what you think. You are what you are up here. The projection that you put out here is as a result of what you are in here. In fact, they say the content and quality of your mind is the manifestation of the content and quality of your life. What your state is up here determines your estate. So you need to be very careful of what is here. And I remember Gabriel gave us, who I have today, Gabriel Mungai. We normally do every Wednesday with Gabriel when we're talking about the mindset. I remember first time when he was talking about, I think it's Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23. Guard your heart with all your, it's called
might.
With all your might. For out of it are the issues of life. And then he told us the issues, and I checked it out in the concordance, and it was true. For out of it are the boundaries, are the outcomes, and are the issues of life. So whatever gets into your heart determines your boundaries, your outcomes, and your issues. So nashindanga kusema ai anzini kona issue mingi. Get to know where they come from. So Gabriel, welcome.
Thank you so much. You started us off with a nice one.
Yeah, so now the packaging we are talking about, like you just said, we're not talking about clothes.
Yes, absolutely not.
Yes.
Although that the clothes will be an outcome of what we talk about.
Yes. So we are talking about how you package, let's say how you package your inner man.
Yes.
That affects how your outer man operates or
performs.
Yes.
I want to set the premise for the conversation with a quote and a scripture. A German, an old guy from the previous generation called Zig Ziglar once said, you cannot perform inconsistent with who you see yourself to be. Your performance is always consistent with how you see yourself internally, not how we see you. We might see you in this way, but your performance will depend 100% on how you see you.
Yes.
All right? So then the next thing I would want to set the premise of the conversation is a scripture. It is in 1 Kings, I think it's chapter 2. And it's
1 Kings chapter 2.
And it's verse 2. This is when David called his son Solomon to talk to him, and he was passing on.
Just give me one moment. I need to have your sound sorted.
Okay.
Okay, let's take a break, Manuel, so that we sort out that sound.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
All right, welcome back. Sorry for that. We had to sort out a technical issue with the sound, but we're good now, I believe. Just in case you're joining us with Gabriel Mungai, and we're talking about the mindset, but for packaging yourself. And just before we went for the break, you were talking about Ziglar.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's a quote from him, and he once said that you cannot perform in a manner that is inconsistent with how you see yourself. So what I was trying to allude to is that you can wear a suit, you can dress very nicely, but if how you see you from within is broken, you can only perform as good as a broken person. So your performance is relative to how you see you. So the packaging that we are talking about is on packaging you From
the one now, the one you see you being.
Yes, your internal mirror, not your external mirror. You
Yes.
see, there's what we see. There's what, when we look at Fred, there's what I see. But when Fred looks at himself, there's
what
that
he
which
sees.
he sees,
Yes.
which is the foundation of packaging. If you see yourself in an error, then automatically an error will eventually come out, will be manifested.
You always manifest who you are.
Who
you
you
always
are.
bring who you are to the table.
Yeah, from within now.
Yes.
Yes. I was alluding to a scripture that I would want to set a premise on, and it's in 1 King chapter 2 verse 2. And it was a time when David was about to pass on, and he called his son Solomon. He was now passing over the baton. And if you're keen to look at the words that he told him, be strong, be courageous, and show yourself a man.
Amen.
So I was
Be strong, be courageous, and show yourself a man.
Yeah. So I was thinking, was he not a man? What is this that David is trying to tell this boy? What is it that is, what had David seen in this boy? He was around, he was just a young man, I think around 18, 19. He wasn't as old when his father died.
That Casanova. I hope that he probably got the message wrong. Because he ended up with 1,000 women.
That was his proof of a manhood. I don't think he
just
really
on a light
succeeded,
note.
yes, with that. But what David was telling him is, package yourself now.
As a man.
Yeah, I'm calling you on a higher ground. You see, you are a man by makeup. You are a male by makeup. But I want you to package yourself from within now, so that it can show from without. Because what I'm seeing from without is not actually what we need to see. So he was calling him on a higher ground. And I think that is our message today. We are calling everyone, including ourselves, to a higher ground where we can show ourselves different, show ourselves better packaged, present ourselves in a way that can win the environments that we are in, the work that we do, the interviews that we are seeking, the business that we are seeking, the sales that we are running after. How do we show ourselves differently?
And that is so key, because I've seen it all through my life. Anytime something happened that dented my image, and I started seeing me from a different perspective, it always affected everything concerning me.
Every other aspect of your life.
Yes,
is going
my
to be touched.
relationships, my job, everything was affected by that image.
Yes.
So it is so key to guard whoever you are allowing, or the information you allow, that gets to determine that image.
That image. So the two basic things that we are going to be dealing with today is, number one, self-image. That is how you see yourself. And then self-esteem, how you value yourself. Image is how you see, the internal mirror of yourself, the perception. Then self-esteem is how you value. Where do you place yourself to be? If you have a low self-esteem, you usually place yourself very low. If you are in a group, you want to be the last. If you are sitting in a classroom, you want to be behind. If some people are being called upon, you want to be the last. So you feel that you are low, you are undeserving, you are not enough, and you're trying to hide behind the curtains. That is low self-esteem. Now, someone with a very high self-esteem, they are confident. They want to come out. They want to be noticed. They don't want to be in an environment where they are not felt. So they will do something to be felt. And this is not arrogance. It's just confidence. A lot of time, confidence can be confused with ego,
Yes.
with pride, with arrogance. But I want you to know that once you are confident in yourself, all the weak people, I call them the weak spirit, will be
they start
starved.
calling you you're proud, arrogant.
Yes, they will be starred. There's going to be a lot of criticism from them, because you represent that which they wish they had. but they are not able to have. So those are the two issues that we are dealing with: self-image and self-confidence. So once you improve your self-image,
let's break it down. Self-image is the picture you have of yourself.
yes, it's your picture.
As in, if you are completely honest and
With
you are
yourself.
told, describe who you see yourself as.
Yes,
That's the picture.
that's the picture you would give.
And that's the man that affects everything that you do.
Every aspect of your life is
That's the
affected
man
by
that
person.
determines whether you, on the line of poverty, whether you are on this side or that, or
this
this
other
side.
side,
So
yes.
you have everything. You have to take care of this man.
Yes, he's the determiner. He's the GCD, greatest common device.
So
all aspects of your life.
So I think it will be very important. How do you get to draw or create the image?
Now,
So that will come to how you improve this image.
First of all, the day we are born, we have a very solid image. If you have ever checked with a
We
child,
have a solid image.
a very solid image. A child doesn't matter, doesn't care. If Fred is dad, is dad. I am not questioning that. If I want a sweet, I want a sweet. Just need to ask for it, you know. Their image is so solid. They are so safe within themselves. They know whenever, if so long as mom is here, I can jump. If dad tells me to throw myself, I will just throw myself. So they are very solid within themselves. But issues of life come. And there is that teacher, there is that house help, there is that parent who slaps the baby. There's a lot. There are friends who talk her down, talk him down, and stuff like that. And little by little, the image starts to get broken.
So words, the way people treat
her or treat him. It is a combination of many factors. The way she's being handled, the way she's being reacted to. It's a combination of many factors that bring her down. And we live in a very negative society.
True.
One man said that we prefer to call the morning whatever wakes us up. We call it an alarm.
It shocked me.
It is an alarm. You know, you wake up to an alarm. What is alarming about a morning?
Yes.
So the guy was proposing that we should be calling it an opportunity sound.
Yes.
So that when we wake up, we know it's a new opportunity rather than calling it an alarm in the morning. Yeah.
Yes.
So the world is quite negative.
Yes.
And so long as you continue receiving the negativity, you go out there, people are complaining about the economy, you go out there, families are breaking, you go out there, friends are betraying each other, you go out there. So there's a lot of negative content that is coming to you, and that contributes to what you start believing. And as you start believing the negative, it affects how you see you. All right? So those are some of the things that break our self-image. So what we want to really go down into is how we can now rebuild it.
What you're saying is very true. I remember when I was at Harambe Primary School. It's just around here. And I remember there was a teacher. No. Was it Harambe or Kariobangi South? One of those clubs. Oh, it's Harambe Primary School. There's a teacher who came up, a nice lady teacher. She came and told me, Fred, her lesson now. She told me, Fred, you're actually going to pass this lesson.
Yes.
Those words were like a dose of life.
Yes. Into a broken spirit.
Yes. A dose of life just went deep within me, and it just broke a cistern. And there was life that flew
in you.
got from within me.
Yes.
And I just loved her subject.
Yes.
And I started acing her subject. I wished my math teacher would have told me that.
Thank God we are missing mathematics in the senior school going forward.
These are one of the people who say, where is my mathematics teacher? You know,
Yes.
but words basically frame That's why I think it's important, the words that we speak to one another. They frame that image or they dent and break it.
Yes.
And you see the effects.
There are 3 levels of words that really affect us and affect us deeply. Number 1 is the words from God. And if you are not keen to hear from God, you will hear from another source. Number 2, words from figures of authority. Someone like a teacher is a figure of authority in a child's life. Someone like a parent. Their word means so much into that child's life. You would better not be careless with your words. Then there is colleagues or friends that we get either criticism or praise. And then the last level is self-talk.
The words that you say to yourself when you're all alone.
Yes. I cannot do that. I don't deserve that. I'm not enough. I'm not as handsome. I'm not as tall. These are self-inflicted wounds that we use to build or to break our self-image. So you want to watch out on the dosage of words that you get. Now, probably in a day, there's very little chance that you will not find a negative word. But what you need to do is consistently give yourself a dose of positive words. Even though the negative will still come, at least consistently give yourself a dose of positive words. So I have a small note that I've written for myself, which I regularly read in the morning. And especially it really helped me some time back when I was struggling with low levels of self-esteem. So in this, it's a one-page document that I would say, I am blessed. I am the most favored. I am the son of the Most High. I have everything I need. So I've put the right words for myself, and I speak them to myself in the morning on a mirror. So even if I meet Fred and he has all these things that he needs to say to me, I have already a dose.
You've already injected
myself with something positive from the morning. I can do this. And then when I come home, before I sleep, I also take that page once again and go through it. So if I had so much negative words, before I sleep, I have...
You speak to yourself.
Yes.
I learned
put on a new lead of good words on myself and affirmations.
And that's what you sleep.
I sleep on.
Yes.
And that's what I wake up to. So at least I'm
the
conditioning
words
myself.
that you wake up to and sleep to are very, very key.
Very important.
Yes.
Because you'll be broken through the day. Your boss won't like you. Your colleagues don't like you. Your wife, your husband, you know. Sometimes things just don't go the way you wanted. The tout on the road. You know, and sometimes the customers, even the clients, you know, you'll handle a client who has their personal issues and they'll give you their garbage. So you want to check that. That is the very first level to rebuild your self-image. Your
words to yourself.
Yes.
I discovered that words are entities, and they become your servants. And your words will either work for you or they will work against you.
Yes.
But they're just following their master's instructions. You instruct them. When you say words concerning yourself, these are instructions you've given your servants.
Yes.
If you say, I cannot do it, your servants are very faithful.
Yes.
So they will make sure you can't do it. And when anything comes that will help you do it,
yes,
they short circuit.
No, what words
so that they fulfill you.
Words create an image, and that image is absorbed by our mind. Once the image goes into our minds and is repeated, it goes to our subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind gathers all the resources needed to implement that image. So if you said you cannot, your subconscious mind will give you reasons
why you can,
why you cannot. It will provide circumstances that will prove you cannot. it will bring people to affirm that you cannot. While the person who said, I can, or let me find out how it can be done, the same subconscious mind goes to work to get the resources to prove that it is possible. Bring people to affirm that it is possible, and to create a scenario where you see the possibility. It is all happening. The problem is the mouth is stronger than the conscious mind. And that is why God says you read the word, then you meditate upon it. You say it. As you say it, you are overriding the conscious thinking by the words that you are speaking. So that is the whole process. So speak something positive, even if it doesn't look positive.
Yes.
But the more you speak it, the more your mind, the subconscious mind, is working hard to bring you the resources to bring it to life. So it might not take place today,
Yes.
not tomorrow,
Yes.
but little by little, you realize that you are making progress towards the thing that you say. I always say that if you are too casual with your words, you will be a casualty of the same.
You are ensnared by your words, by the words of your mouth.
Of your mouth.
Yes.
So you really want to check that. The next thing that we want to check on rebuilding our self-image is our attitude. You see this saying that keeps on going around, that our attitudes determines our altitude. It's so true.
Yes.
But sometimes we ignore it because we fail to understand what attitude really is all about. An attitude, and all these things I'm sharing, by the way, it's in my book, In Pursuit of Growth. If you need it, please grab a copy.
Yes.
Attitudes is a natural disposition or a settled way of thinking about something. So there are people, let me share a few attitudes, with just a negative attitude.
Let's use things that are happening today. There's an attitude people have developed concerning our president.
Yes. So even when he is right,
Yes.
we have a disposition to believe he is not.
Yes.
Even when he is saying the truth, a large group of us have a natural disposition to believe that this guy cannot speak the truth. So you see, even when it is right, for us it will never be right. Even
Yet
when
it is right.
Yes, even when it is factual, not subjective.
Yes.
When it is purely objective, we cannot find the objectivity of it. We will still be subjective about the matter.
We have settled in our mind that this is this.
This is it. I think previously he was branded a thief, and then he was branded a liar. And I think that is something they do consciously, so that we take that disposition and settle with it. All right? So that is a good example. So we have those people that are very negative. Very negative. Someone comes to you, you ask them, they tell you, Fred, I want to leave my job. Hey, what is up? Hey, they don't pay me well. They tell me to come in early. They don't give us tea. Oh, the HR. You ask them, is there anything positive about you? Oh, there is no. I can tell you about the offices. I can tell you how, they will go and go and go and go. Just the negative side of things. You ask them, oh, how about your wife? Oh, she talks too much. She's too fat. She's too thin. She's what? She's what? And there's nothing positive you'll see about that. If you are that kind of a person, trust me, there is no suit that will make you look good.
True.
I don't know if, Fred, you've met these people who are very nice looking, so long as they are silent.
Until he opens his mouth.
When the mouth goes up, their beauty fades.
Yes.
Their handsomeness dies.
True.
Their attitude.
And you're wishing, oh Lord,
I wish
this guy can shut his mouth.
Yes.
You're constantly sitting on the edge.
Yes.
Yeah. I visited a company once, and I was given an opportunity to sit in their in their managerial meeting.
Yes.
That normally happens on a Monday. Management meeting. So I sat in it. And they started talking about what is happening in the company.
Yes.
And And I was like, that was the first time I was sitting in there. And I sat there and I asked them, guys, is there nothing good happening
here
in this company?
Yes.
As in, everything was negative. And it looked as though they celebrate the managers who talk negative about people who are under them. And I sat and I looked and I was shocked. As in, everybody had, because the CEO of that place somewhat looked as though he treasures those people who put down
others,
those who are under them. And you know, I discovered when I looked at the performance of the company,
it's always bad.
Yeah, it was a perfect reflection of what happens in that management meeting.
It was the attitude. Yes, as a leader, you influence the attitude of those that follow you.
Yes.
Very much.
Yes.
Very much by what you reward. If you reward someone who puts others down, then that is the pace you've set for your company.
Yeah.
If you don't reward people who are diligent, who are hardworking, and all these good qualities, then you are rewarding the opposite automatically. True. So the hard worker slows down. The person with a good attitude changes. There's no point for it. You understand? So the other attitude you could talk about is the positive attitude. There are people who are very positive. I heard of a story of a man who used to be a mason. Always the day, every time you asked him how he is, he's told you, so far, so good. And he used to have that until people started calling him so far, so good.
Yes.
So one day they were building a tall building, a skyscraper, and it was, I think, in the 90th floor or something. And it happens that he slid. So people were, hey, what's up? So as they were calling him, and he was...
He fell down.
He was falling down. The last words that I recorded for him, he said, so far, so good. That was the last words that I recorded of this man. So it's a pitiful story, but it's a story of an attitude, a disposition that you can have in your life. You decide to see the positive. Even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of trouble and turmoil, you can decide to see what is good. Even though what is negative is obvious, you can decide by choice to see that which is good. And a person with a positive attitude, Fred, always wins. In the long term, if we play the long game, the person with a negative attitude will produce every scenario to make them fail. While a person with a positive attitude, even in a very dire situation, will create circumstances that will give him or her a small tunnel, a very little escape route. So you want to have that positive attitude. It really makes a difference. It really makes a difference. And this is the thing, Fred. Most people either get or lose a job opportunity because of their attitude.
True.
Not because of their skill.
Yes.
You see, the way you walk into that interview room, the way you sit, the way you compose yourself, the way you answer the questions, the way you respond, the way you react, it's all that is selling you.
Yes. So you're literally just packaging you.
Yes, you're packaging you. And that's actually what we are looking at in that boardroom. It's the marks that we are giving you.
When you come for an interview, what we are looking at, apart from the skill that you
see,
have,
a lot of times
we're looking at how you package yourself.
Yes. And it's beyond the suit. Remember, in an interview, everyone is dressed their best.
Yes.
So probably your dressing will not make a lot of difference. It probably will not make. Remember, they have done the long listing and the short listing. So probably everyone you see in the interview, they have a level of skill that is to the company what they need.
Yes.
So here we are checking other things
apart from skills.
Apart from your suit and your skill.
Yes.
And that is the packaging we are talking about. 85% of the marks that you will get depends on that. Sadly, Fred, to make you nikushtue kidogo, is that if you evaluate the qualities of success, most of them are not skills, rather they are attitudes. Let's take 5 or 10 of them.
Yes.
Patience,
Yes.
is it a skill or an attitude?
It's an attitude.
It's an attitude.
Yes.
Hard work, is it a skill or an attitude?
It's an attitude.
It's an attitude. Enthusiasm, motivation.
Yes.
You see,
Excellence.
excellence.
Yes.
These are all attitudes. They're actually the difference makers. People think that because I'm a certified engineer, I should walk in and get a job. My friend.
Yeah, the
you
people
won't
were looking at.
from school.
I actually heard a CEO say that what you've just said. He said he would rather work with a person who doesn't have so much skill,
Yes.
but the attitude
Yes.
is way up
The
there.
best, yes.
Because he says skill
We
is
can
something
train.
I can train.
We can train, yes.
But attitude,
Oh.
if it stinks, it stinks. And the worst thing about it is that it affects everything it comes into contact with.
Yes. Both the employers, the staff, everyone is going to be affected by such an attitude. What I've come to conclude, Fred, is good people are not made, man. They are found.
Yes.
If you are an employer, you are a business owner, the best you can get is just find good people. Skilled people, they are trained.
Yes.
But good people, people of good character, people of good attitude, belief, motivation, enthusiasm, hard work, excellence, those people are found. If you don't get them, you don't get them. If you find them, you find them.
Yes.
Yes. Then rewards and compensation you can discuss.
So let's break down in because I can see time is almost.
Yes.
Let's break down maybe 5 processes. How if I suffer from a dented, broken image.
Yes.
What do I do? What are the habits
Yes.
that I
you need to
develop?
inject.
Yes, so that I can develop now that good image that will package me well.
Number 1, correct or get a good dose of positive words going into you daily. Not someday, not Sunday. Don't listen to motivational talks one day. Listen to it daily, and especially in the morning and in the evening. Give yourself a good menu for your psyche,
Yeah.
so that you are in a good place mentally. Number 1, get the right words. Number 2, we've talked about the attitude.
Yes.
Fix your attitude. It's something you are the only person
You're the only one who can do it.
who can make change here.
Yes.
Ask yourself, in a normal setup, what is my disposition? If Fred invites me for tea, what comes to my mind? What is my thinking? Tunaenda hoteli mbaya, atanunulia chai mbaya, atafanya nini? What is your disposition? Start changing that disposition by saying something positive about it. Move from a negative mindset, a negative attitude, to a positive attitude, a winning attitude. Number 3, you want to overcome failure. A lot of us get stuck to failure. I failed yesterday, so I brand myself that I'm a failure. The reality is, failure is an event.
It's just that. It is an event.
There's nothing more to it.
Yes.
It's an event.
Yes.
And it happened, and it is gone. Failure is not a person. You are not failure. You are Fred.
Yes.
You failed at something yesterday. It didn't change Fred to failure. You are still Fred, but you failed. And today you can succeed. Now, success is not Fred either.
Yeah, it's an event also.
It's also an event.
Yes.
So get the difference.
Yes.
That I failed, that's an event that happened, I keep moving.
I like the attitude of this guy who developed the light bulb. What do they call him?
Thomas Edison.
I'm told that he failed to get the right kind of results.
Yes.
I think
1,000 times.
1,000 times.
On record, yes.
Yes. Now, and he says he did not fail.
Yes.
I just discovered
Ways.
a way of not doing it.
Yes, that is not the right way.
Yes.
So 1,000 ways of not getting it right.
Yes.
Yes.
So
he had eliminated so many options.
Yes.
He was left with few.
Yes.
that were now correct.
So even in things that we do not necessarily get the results that we want,
Yes.
maybe we need to take the
Thomas Edison's perspective.
And attitude.
Yes.
Oh, I just discovered one other way
not done.
of not getting the results that I wanted.
Yeah, it's
I
not
did
done
fail.
that way. Yeah, it's not done that way.
I was successful in discovering
That
a
is
new
not-
way.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Yes.
So that one, iko nje ya
unaweka
hesabu.
kando.
We continue.
Yes.
Yes. You'll find that to be very true. But most of us are stuck in our failures, and it's something that really hurts so many people. So we want to get to that place where we separate ourselves from the failures that we've had. And this is another thing that we must understand, that failure is part of success. It is part and parcel of success, because failure presents you with the lessons,
Yes.
the staircase that you need to go through on your way to success. So if you haven't failed, I am also questioning your
You've
success.
never tried anything.
Also questioning your success.
Yes.
So it's part and parcel of success. So when you talk about success, failure is one of the ingredients.
Yes.
Effort is one of the other ingredients. Hard work, excellence, and all the other things. So it is just part of the success. So if you are failing, you are en route to success.
But
if
learn
you are
from
not
it.
failing,
Yes.
then even success, you are not part of it. The last thing I would want us to really focus on is separate us from our past.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
the most painful thing, and I really hate discussing it, that a lot of us have been stopped by a previous success. Not even
Not
by
a
a failure.
by a
Yes.
success.
But by our previous success. When we got that success that we set out to do in 2025, and we got it by March, we stopped. And we started enjoying. And the problem with life is that when you stop growing,
You start
you
there.
start dying. So most of us are dying because we got to the success we aimed at. The thing with success is that there are always new horizons. So if you are looking to get a degree in economics, once you get there, it is not to sit and to relax. It is okay to celebrate. Very necessary. Every milestone we must celebrate. But it is you step on the new horizon, on the new success, and look at the new horizon.
Somebody once told me that the peak of one mountain
Yes.
is actually the ground of
For the
another.
next one.
Yes.
So most of us, when it comes to packaging, because you won that job at EBN, you felt that
Nimefika.
was it, yes.
Nimefika.
And that's where you lost it. Most of us are in that situation where we got the very, it's called an entry level
Yes.
success.
Yes.
And we've never moved there. So when you go to interviews, you sound more, what is the best word? Are you exhausted or obsolete? You are not so updated with the things as they are. Yeah, you're not so updated with the attitudes, the changes that people have made since they were where you are.
Yes.
So that is something that we must deal with, so that you don't get satisfied with either. You handle that past. You go past your past.
Interesting you say that. I was checking 1 Corinthians chapter 3. And it says, when Paul is talking to the Corinthians, he tells them, therefore do not boast about men, for all things are yours.
Yes.
Then he talks about, be it Cephas, be it Apollos, be it Paul. And then he says, be it the world. And then he says, be it the present or the future. He does not mention the past anywhere there.
Yes.
Meaning the past does not belong to us.
It doesn't exist. It's left.
It does not belong. So if you're living in your past, you're living in an illegal land.
No man's land.
Yeah. You're what you call an illegal immigrant.
Yes.
Because he does not mention the past. He says the present and the future. He talks about life and death. I notice he does not mention the past.
Anything on the past, yes.
So I realized anytime I wake up in the morning and my mind is on the thing that happened yesterday,
Yes.
I'm an illegal alien in a land I'm not supposed to be.
You're not supposed to be. You see, your best days are not in the past.
Yes.
They are in the future. So you should move forward. A lot of us are stuck there, and it's a pity. Lastly, fear. A lot of us have been frozen by fear. And fear, you see, the abbreviation is false evidence appearing real. Fear is false evidence
Appearing
that
real.
is appearing real. Just know it is false. And I think in one of our shows, I discussed how to overcome fear, and we talked about educating your fears. A lot of times, the thing you fear have been done by thousands and thousands of people.
Take, for instance, people who fear injection.
Yes.
They are grown-ups screaming.
They want to run away.
You're wondering, wait a minute, a guy, you're 52.
What is it?
What makes you afraid of an injection?
You know, they've not educated them their fears.
Yes.
To know that hospital, even if they just went and asked, how many injections do you do in this hospital in a day? They'll be told, we do 500, 600, 1,000 injections.
Yes.
So the question is, if other 1,000 people are being injected, what is it with me?
Yes.
This is unnatural. You know, this is unnatural.
Yes.
You know, students fear exams. But everyone out there has done exams already.
Yes.
They already have a certificate.
Yes.
What is it that I'm fearing? Some people, you tell them, go and take a driving course. Oh, I fear accident. I fear... All the cars moving around,
Yes.
even the one passing you now. Someone went to school.
True.
And they made it. So it's just that you haven't educated your
fears.
fear. Just give it the right information. Show it the right information. And sometimes I say the right information is in the Word of God, because the world might lack the answers. But you just need to go. What does the Word say? God says, do not fear. Do not fear. 365 times.
Yes.
So you have one do not fear every single day. So you don't have to fear. Just jump in and do what you have to do. Those are the key things that build your self-image. And if you see yourself well, Fred,
Everything else
changes. There's a story I've alluded in my book about two boys that were called the name John. They were in Form 4. It so happened that one John was a smart John. He always sat on the front row. And the other John was a rude John. He sat on the back end. This new teacher comes into the school. He really doesn't know that there are two Johns, you know. But in the staff room, he hears about the good John.
Yes.
The guy who is performing, who is breaking all the records. He's the prefect. He's doing well. All the teachers are hoping that he's going to get good grades, and he's going to move on and represent the school properly. Then, this rude John gets chased away from school, and sadly, the good John gets sick. So, the parent of the bad John, or the rude John, is told to come for a disciplinary case. But unluckily or luckily, when she comes, the teacher she finds is the new teacher.
Yes.
So the teacher asks, who are you? I am the mother of John. And the teacher goes on to his motivational speech. Oh, I like your son. I hear he's the best. He's going to do well. All the grades are A. His character is not trouble for teachers.
Yes.
You know, he has been a good kid. We all have our hopes. And the mom was surprised. Wow, you mean John has become this good?
Yes.
It's really changed.
Yes.
You know? And somehow things happened that there was an accident in the school, and the mother was told to come another day. So the mother went home with the positive words.
Yes.
And when she got home, she told the rude John that I met this teacher, and I am surprised, my son, that you are this changed. I'm really surprised that you are working hard on your grades, and I'm surprised that the teachers have hope on you. And if they have hope on you, who am I?
Yes.
I believe you are going to make it.
Yes.
So the boy was confused. Which teacher is this?
Yes.
And when did I become good? So he didn't know. But when he went back to school, The teacher he found on duty was the new teacher. By this time, the teacher had known it was not the right John. But this John, in his heart, was convinced by hearing these words that actually he can be something.
Yes.
So he went and told the teacher, nobody has ever believed in me. Not even my father. Nobody.
Yes.
I'm surprised that you have believed in me, and I will try my best to live up to what you told my mom. And the teacher looked at the boy, and he said he won't say anything.
Yes.
So he just allowed him go. But do you know, by the third term, this was in the first term, by the third term of the same year, John, the bad John, was number 2 in the district.
Wow.
Number 2 in the school. He got an A minus.
Wow.
That was a difference maker. It is the image that's changed from within. His character was refined. His attitude was refined.
Something
and his
snapped within.
His grades were refined. If you change the picture, you change the outcomes.
Okay.
You package from within,
Yes.
then from without, it's going to be
Everything
here.
becomes well.
Yes.
Well, beautiful. It's such an important lesson because it can determine so many things in our lives. It can determine how we lead our family. It determines how we handle where we work, our hustle. It determines even how your relationship with money. It determines so many things. Actually, all aspects of your life are determined by the image that you have in yourself. Take those, use them, practice them. In the morning, say words about you that are great. In the evening, as you go to sleep, the same thing. And you will see a change. And as you change, your home will change, your community will change, the nation will change. So that's how things are changed. Thank you very much, Gabriel. Unfortunately,
Most welcome.
we are past time.
Yes.
But great lessons. I really hope. Just go on Facebook, YouTube, every Wednesday. Start from the very beginning when we started this series on mindset. By now, you'd be something else. Do have yourself a lovely morning. God bless you.